Yo, what is up, guys? MattWic here. We are back. NHL 24 Pittsburgh Penguins rebuild. And I have to say, I have done quite the job. We are 4 years into the future here with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And this roster, this turnaround is absolutely loaded. Take a look at this team that we've been able to build. Obviously, we've had quite the turnover. I believe the only forward that we have that was on the team is Sidney Crosby. So that is something in and of itself. And then defensive-wise, I think it's the same there as well. And then the only prospects that we had were Bros and Jaeger, I think. And then goalies Murashov and both Blomqvist are in the Penguin system right now as well. But everything other than that is all completely rebuilt from the ground up. Now, obviously, it did help year one. We won the lottery and got Macklin Celebrini, and then finding Marcus Varlamov not long after that with the 6th overall pick. And this guy, let me show you his stats if you aren't caught up on the series from last year. 44 goals last year as a rookie in the NHL. So we do have him playing on that top line there with Celebrini just because that's where he was last year and he tore it up. And we have a nice bit of center depth. So we'll see how he goes on that top pairing. See if he can put up numbers similar to last year. But big free agent signings we made. We had a ton of money actually to play with because we have no more Malkin. And I guess we just aren't paying a ton of guys a bunch of money. Celebrini's still on kind of a cheap deal. No, he's not. He's on 7-year, $12 million. So I locked him up long term. But I mean, other than that, not a lot going on here. Sidney Crosby's on a 1-year, 4.2, 41 years of age. So we'll see how much longer he wants to stick around. But I mean, I'm very happy with this team right now. We picked up Brady Tkachuk and Pius Suter and Chinnikov in the offseason because I believe Chinnikov we got on a 1-year. Brady Tkachuk, I think I signed a little bit long-term, 3 years. Suter, we got on a 1-year just because he was still a free agent, deep into free agency. And I said, I mean, I got $15 million in cap space, so let me just go out there, give him a big deal for 1 year, just see if he wants to maybe win a cup with this team that is up and coming. And then we got the DeBrincat, I believe, 4 years, 9.25. So he's one of our other big pay guys. But one of the biggest moves that I made was getting Lane Hudson as an RFA. I believe I traded with the Montreal Canadiens to bring him in, so I didn't have to pay any crazy, RFA deals or anything like that. We got a great deal on him. I mean, look at this. I mean, I think he is a created player in this by whoever made these rosters, but 99 across the board in puck skills, mid 90s in all of his senses. Defensive stats aren't even that bad for an offensive defenseman as well. This guy he's Chris Letang 2.0. We got Varlamov, we got Celebrini, and Lane Hudson. Those are the three core pieces of this team going forward. And I mean, look at this, 24 years old, 19 years old, and 22 years old. So we are set up for life, the masterclass speed rebuild. And then Lane Hudson, we have him locked up 4.75 for 7 years. I extended him out big time just because I like the way he looked. I figured he'd be slotted in as somewhere around like a second pairing guy for his career. But after a monster season last year, where I believe he won the Calder, he just exploded in overall. So I mean, and then you saw those stats as well. So he is a beast. And then we finally got some young guys as well. Sasha Boumediene, I can't remember how to say that name. But we got him from Columbus. I believe we traded Brian Rust to them, and we got him and a pick. And he has developed very nicely. I don't think he was a medium elite when we acquired him. I think he was a low elite. So he's grown, and hopefully he can jump up and get on that top pairing. I believe we'll have to re-sign him, in 2 years, but that's not even that bad. Victor Hedman as well, still hanging around. So I have very high hopes for this team. I think this should be a Stanley Cup contending team. But you know how the simulation can go sometimes. You can have a stacked roster and it'd be absolutely trash. So we'll see if we're able to get anything done. I'll show you guys real quick just what the power play as well looks like. I mean, this is a gauntlet right here. You got Victor Hedman leading by example as one of the older players. Nice to have him and Sidney Crosby to provide that veteran leadership. Even DeBrincat at the age of 30 has that leadership role. Celebrini still waiting in the wings to be captain. He is our alternate right now. We cannot take the captaincy away from Sidney Crosby. Especially as an 84 overall, he's still putting in good work. But this team should be poised for a big run. Now, we are, if this is one of the first episodes you're watching on this series, because the last video for the draft got a ton of views. And guys, thank you very much for the support on these videos. All the likes on that were awesome. All the views, I appreciate it so much. I sometimes can't believe people watch these videos, but you guys like them. You guys leave the comments and say you like them, so I appreciate that. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe the channel if you are enjoying the content. But let's go ahead. I'll sim a couple months in and bring you guys back, show you, give you a little update. We're going to try to get through this whole season in one episode, and then we'll see about the playoffs there. But we aren't doing the 3-2-1 point system, so 3 points for a win, 2 points for an overtime win, and 1 point for an overtime loss. So it's kind of like you're battling for those 3 points, and you don't get to, what's it called, just cheese ball OT losses like we see some teams do, New York Islanders, to get into the playoffs and compete. So let's go a couple months into the sim, and I'll bring you guys back, and we'll see how we're doing. All right, guys, holy crap. I said a couple months, but I'm going to bring you back after 1 month just in case this goes downhill, because we know very well it could. We went 12-1 throughout the first month of the season. Macklin Celebrini leading from the front, 20 points in 13 games. That is awesome. That is unreal. One of the big things that I was most happy about too was we played the Capitals 3 times this month, beat them all 3 times. Three goals is all it took, and then same with Columbus. We beat them 3-2 as well. So that is very cool to see. The season did start. Where did it start? Started right. Did we play them 4 times? Oh my God, did we? No, this had to be a preseason game. I don't know. Maybe we played them 4 times in 1 month and beat them all 4 times. Yeah, I think we actually did. They were the first game of the season. So yeah, we beat the Caps 4 times in 1 month. So the Penguins fans are dancing on the doorstep over there in Washington, D.C. We love to see that. But yeah, hell of a first month for the boys. Let's take a quick look. I'm not going to change any lines, obviously, because we don't need to. But let's take a quick peek at the stats. See how Varlamov and DeBrincat are doing up on that line as well. And oh my goodness, 12 goals in 13 games for Marcus Varlamov. And Brady Tkachuk, someone I was a little nervous about bringing in the team because I like him a lot as a player, but I didn't know how he'd fit into this roster. I would love, obviously, if the Penguins were able to get him in real life. It was someone who was kind of sprinkled around there, but no way he's leaving Ottawa. He is locked up as the captain there. But in this simulation, he was a free agent. We did bring him in. So he's doing very well. Suter as well. Crosby, 9 points in 13 games. We love to see that he's putting up numbers. Where is our boy? Lane Hudson, 8 assists through 13 games. Wow. So these guys are tearing it up. We do have 1 minus player on the team, Braden Yeager, but that is fine. Someone's got to eat the minuses. I always see as it goes through. There's always, you'll be tearing it up as a team, but somebody on the team's one line will just be eating all the minuses because somebody's getting scored on in the sim. But we have nothing to complain about currently. Let's see how the goalies are doing. Joel Blomqvist, someone who's been a little disappointing throughout the start of the season. I was debating giving him a contract in free agency, but there was really nobody else out there. Kind of once you get a few years in the Sims, there's the goalie depth really wanes off, which is something that definitely needs to be looked at for NHL 25 because I'm in, 15 years in with my testing the draft, and most teams have like a 78 overall goaltender as their starter. So 4 years, $5 million for him wasn't too bad. I did look at the stats. I was like 44 wins in his first year as like kind of a developed starter. 45 wins. Look at what he's done throughout his season. So I was like, yeah, I got to extend this guy. And looks like it was the right move because he is tearing it up. But let me go another month, 2 months maybe. We'll see if if we still haven't lost too many games. I might bring you guys back after a month. But let's see if we can continue this hot streak that we're on right now. All right, guys, another month into the season, 26-1. Celebrini still well above point per game, but that's not the reason I brought you back in here. I had something I wanted to show you. Actually, we'll do it from the edit line screen because it's just absolutely insane. This 19-year-old Marcus Varlamov, power forward as well. Look at... He has 26 goals in 27 games. This is absolutely insane. He's only 19. I'm going to have to lock him up to a contract as soon as I can. What is he, the Estonian? Give me a nickname for him, boys. Someone in the comments, leave down. What should this guy's nickname be? 26 goals in 27 games. He had 44 goals last year from Estonia, playing for the Penguins, power forward, crazy stats. He's got Brady Tkachuk teaching him a little bit how to play more like a power forward now. And holy crap, he is tearing it up. Let me actually take a look to Chinnikov. 3 goals, 7 assists. A little disappointing down there. He's playing with the legend Sidney Crosby, so you'd want a little bit more from that line. Maybe we scoot him down and bring up one of these two guys, Tomas Ranta or Matthew Joseph. He is a sniper, though, so it is a little disappointing. I don't want to have a sniper playing on the 4th line, but let's actually... Do we want to do that? He can play left and right wing. Let's... Yeah, do I want to do it? We're 26-1. Dominating the league right now. Do I want to make a change like that and put someone like him? Let's do it. You guys can let me know in the comments if that's a bad decision or not. One other thing, actually, too, let me check on is I want to see how Lane Hudson is doing as well. And then let's take a look at the draft class to see kind of what the league is stacking up to look like. 14 assists, a +1, 25 minutes per ice on the game. Oof. And holy crap, Victor Hedman's actually tearing it up. Maybe we scoot him up to that top line. Yeah, let's do that just to see what happens. You know, it's a couple games. You know, once we get into the playoffs, we've got to know what works and what doesn't. So let's do that for a few games, maybe for a month, and see if we start really trailing off. Then we'll see what we look like. And oh boy, Edgar Wang, medium franchise right off the rip. Let's see this guy. He's got all A's throughout his skill assessment. Wayne Gretzky like. Oh my goodness. So somebody's gonna snag this legend. Maybe we try to make a trade with our all of our picks to just guess who's gonna get the top pick, and go from there and see if we can bring this guy into the team. Because if we can get him, Varlamov, Hudson, and Celebrini, and then just rock with those four, that core, and then just let everything else die around them, maybe that's something we look at trying to do. So that's another thing. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of that idea. We shall see. We shall see. We have another guy, possible low franchise. Not even projected to get. Oh, our scouts say 327, but he's 174, so that's like 5th, 6th round. Oh my goodness, Harvey Bitts. Let's hope that this guy stays that way, because I'd love to title another video what I did for the last draft one. That would be incredible to be able to clickbait, I guess, kind of like that. But it's not really clickbait, because it is happening. It is real life. For this game. Maybe we'll just stop scouting him so he stays right there. we'll see what happens there. But let's go, boys. I'm going to get another month or two into the season. I'll bring you back in and see what we're looking at. But we're 9 points up on the rest of the division, so let's hope we can start running away with this thing. All right, boys, we are a month before the trade deadline. 37, 12, and 3. Absolutely throttling the league right now. Let me see. We have 107 points. Well, the Colorado Avalanche actually have more points than us, 108. Jesus Christ. Even with the great season that we're having, somebody's got to be up on us. We do have 2 games in hand, so that does say something. Celebrini, 62 points in 52 games. Let's take a look, though. How's Varlamov doing? I haven't checked it. I want to leave it as a surprise for myself as well. So what do you have? 26 goals. 42 goals in 52 games. Oh my god, there was a 50 and 50 craze going on about him probably for a little bit. So this guy is a certified stud. DeBrinket's getting a lot of points up there on that top unit as well. Brady Tkachuk not doing too bad. Tristan Brose, hey man, he's just down there playing his position. You know, 85 overall, playing between a couple studs here. Pia Suter's working out pretty well for us by the looks of it. Matthew Joseph is tearing it up now on that line, only getting 9 minutes per game. I think he was at around 8. So moving him up a line, he still hasn't gotten a ton going on there. Crosby with 43 points. That is awesome at 41 years of age. Killing it with him, brother. Lawson Krause, just like same thing. You need guys on the lines just to put that work in. You don't need everybody to be a superstar. So Lawson Krause, even though he's not putting up a ton of points, he's playing his position. He's doing what he needs to do. Tomas Ranta, one of our younger players, we got him in the 2nd round in year 1, actually. He's not doing too bad. Braden Yeager, we'd like a little bit more out of him, but you know, he's kind of fine filling his role down there at the 4th line. Not getting a ton of minutes, but getting some good points. I'm not too upset about that. Chinnikov playing 18 assists. With a little bit, he still has ice time. He's probably on the power play, which is probably why he's putting up all those points, but I'm not too upset about that. Him down there on the 4th line. Victor Hedman with 34 assists. We love that. Ryan Ufko, I believe this is another guy. I thought I signed him longer term, but great pickup we made a couple years ago from Nashville for a couple of draft picks. He's developed nicely. Lane Hudson looks like he's filling in better on his role down there on the 2nd pairing. Still top unit on power play with Hedman as well up there, but 34 assists, we love to see that. Niels Lundqvist plus 31. Jesus Christ, this guy's out there for like every goal. What a beast. Matthias Samuelsson is a guy we picked up in year 1 from Buffalo. 86 overall, we love that. 14 on him. We got him locked up for cheap for a couple more years. I think that's where we save a ton of money, is our defensive core is absolutely loaded, and we're not really paying anybody a ton of money besides Victor Hedman. And Bodemine is doing well down there as well, 22 years of age, so a young guy we got on the squad. Stats look great. He's going to be someone that fills up there for a long time. Let's take a look at the goalies here. Murashov has 6 wins in 8 games. Can't complain with a backup with those numbers. And Joel Blomqvist, 31 wins, a 904 and a 303 goals against average. We'd like to see the shutouts up a little bit more, but I'm not going to complain. We're probably doing a little bit of run and gun out there. These are the guys we have scratched as well. So maybe, do I want to maybe put Klein in there for some 4th line minutes? Yeah, let's do it. The other moves we've made have worked out so far. Klein's a younger guy. We want to get him some time in there. 4th line, meh. I would like to get him higher, but I mean, on this roster, you're just not going to be able to find those minutes, but let's put him in there. He's got decent enough face-offs. I believe Yeager was like an 82 with face-offs, so it's not going to be too big of a drop-off, and Klein has some good numbers there, so let's get him some play time, get him some stats, maybe get him a little boost to his overall. Don't really know if it matters or not, but let's get up to the trade deadline. I don't think we're going to make a ton of moves, or any moves, really. Maybe, like, just try to get some I don't even know, try to get some draft picks, but I don't want to add or subtract anything from this roster. I mean, this is a great fit that we got going on right now. Every position we have is strong. We have top defense players on every pairing. Offense, I mean, we have a great first line, unreal first line, probably the best first line in the league right now. Second line, perfect, fine. I mean, you got Brady Tkachuk putting up numbers like he's putting up. Not going to move that around. Crosby's playing well. Joseph and Krause are playing their position. Then fourth line, no real point in adding a guy that's going to maybe disrupt some of that chemistry we got there, even if, like, Rudolph Klein's kind of like a trade deadline acquisition. So let's go. We'll probably just skip past that, see if there's any big offers maybe made to us, see if who's going to get that draft pick. Let me take a look. 38 points for the Sabres. What the fuck? Oh my god, I gotta look at their roster to see what they're doing. Buffalo, I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, what do we got here? Mr. Johan Bang. I like that. 19 years of age there. Buffalo Sabres. What are we looking at? See, this is what I'm talking about when I say you can never tell what the sim is gonna do. This is not a 12-win team almost at the trade deadline. This team is kind of loaded, too. I mean, they got young guys. Maybe the problem is they just don't have any, like, veteran leadership. I mean, they got Patrick Kane on the team, and and Tage Thompson isn't. It's not like he's super young or anything like that. Jeez, man, how is this team as bad as it is? What do they got going on? Oh my god, their defense is even stacked. Oh, they have to have a bad goalie, right? No. Oh my god, this has to be the best 12-win team I've ever seen. Like I said, this could have been us. This is what I thought it was going to turn into this year. Thankfully, it has not. But guys, Jesus Christ, let me know. Have you been disappointed by rosters like that in the past? That is absolutely insane. The sim engine shows no mercy. We're pretty much inverses of each other right now. But let's get up to the trade deadline. We'll see if we make any moves. Like I said, probably not, but let's hope that we can continue this tear that we're on. All right, guys, the trade deadline has come and passed, and we did have our worst month probably so far this season, but that's really not saying a whole lot. For what we've been able to do so far. A couple losses there to some Canadian teams, but you know, it's just a little slip up, and it wasn't even too bad for a normal roster. The only loss that really did hurt was the Philadelphia Flyers. That was our first meeting with them in the season. They are number 2 in our division, right behind us, actually probably tied with us pretty much. So not too much happened at the trade deadline. I will show you guys. I did make one small little acquisition. I can't even show it. So what I ended up doing was, remember how we were talking about how Buffalo was the worst team in the league? Well, I went out and got their first round pick. It cost me 2 firsts, a second, and one of our 58 overall medium elite players. But if we can grab, I know it's just for a chance at the lottery, but we got ourselves the best ticket possible. And I don't see them really crawling out of that basement anytime soon. Only 17 wins on the season. So we'll see. We do have the best odds now at the first overall pick for that medium franchise guy. Let's take a look at him again, see how he's doing. Our possible stud Edgar Wang. And I mean, even if we don't get it, the other options really aren't the worst. We have this Samuel Gramet Morris. This guy we will not be taking. He is a bust of busts. Tomas Lati doesn't look too bad. Patrick Kane, he has the pro mentality at a young age, so he'd be a great fit into this team. So that would probably be our second pick if we didn't get Edgar Wang here. But like I said, we gave ourselves a hell of a chance to get that pick, number 1 overall. Let me actually take a look real quick. I forgot about him, the franchise guy. Let's see if he's still listed as a low franchise. He is. Wow. Okay. He's putting up some good numbers as a 19-year-old in the U.S. League there. Doesn't look like he's ready to play anytime soon, but still listed as low franchise this far into the season, so that is pretty interesting. We'll see if he can keep that up. Let's take a look at the rest of the boys, though, and see how they're doing. Obviously, Celebrini still leading from the front, 95 overall, 79 points. Varlamov, 51 goals now in 66 games, so he's fallen off a little bit, but not a ton. DeBrincat up there as well, 73 assists. He is loving it playing on that top unit with those two guys. Tkachuk's been very nice. Sidney Crosby, 41 years of age, the ageless wonder, 55 points, 66 games played, so not point per game, but I mean, those are pretty goddamn good numbers. And then with Hedman and our boy Lane Hudson as well, putting up 53 points on the blue line, that is huge. I did sit Klein down, even though he was doing pretty well. The team, that's when we started having our losing streak. So we'll see. Now we know we can rely on him in that on that fourth line role if need be. And then something else that I did notice whenever I was doing the trade, looking at some of our rookie skaters, was our young boy Tatachuk down, I believe that's his name, in the AHL. Let's skip over to him. 80 overall. Now, 21 years of age, medium elite. He's doing well down there. I don't really want to bring him up, though, just because I don't want to play him on the fourth line with those face-offs. But once Sidney Crosby retires, if that is this year, or even next year, we move Sidney Crosby down to the fourth line, this is a guy I could definitely see playing, even maybe on the second line in place of Tristan Brose, to fill in that needs there with those playmaking skills. This guy is a beast, so we'll see. We'll maybe get to see him next year if that goes up. We also have Ville Kuvanen. Probably he's going to top out at 78 overall. I don't see him making up any more ground. We got Rempe down there as well in case we need to bring him up. But hey, the team is looking great right now. Let's get to the end of the season, see if we make the playoffs. And yeah, then we'll get into the next episode with the playoffs. But let's see if we can get there first. All right, guys, so here we are, end of the season. And we kind of stumbled a little bit at the end there. We did finish, I believe, 5th in the league, which is insane with how good of a team that we had and what kind of numbers we put up. We finished 5th in the league. The Flyers win the division, 152 points there. Panthers with 150. Avalanche 167, unreal season. The Golden Knights as well did blow it up too. Macklin Celebrini unfortunately unable to reach the century mark, 91 points in 82 games, but he did have a lot of mouths to feed up there. Marcus Varlamov, 60 goals. So 104 goals for him in his first 2 seasons in the NHL. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. DeBrincat put up some good numbers. Hedman, 64 points at 38 years of age now. Crosby with 62. Lane Hudson, 54 assists. So it's insane that we just have 2 guys on that blue line. Brose, not a bad season, 40 points, playing on the second line. He's more of a defensive second line center, which is why, like I said, we'll probably bring up Tadachek next year and have him play those second line minutes. Just because of the playmaking ability, and then him and Brose and Crosby will fill out the third and fourth line, so we'll see where they look there. But not a bad season by any means, guys. I'm very, very, very happy with the performance of the boys in this one, but it's going to come down to playoff success. This group has had time together now for a couple years. We need to start winning some playoff series. Last year we got bounced in the first round by the Red Wings. Let's skip up and see who we've got in our playoff series here. We are doing the 1-8 system as well with, I don't believe I put reseeding on, but does make it for a little bit of a mystery about who we're going to be facing off against. And it is going to be the Toronto Maple Laughs. Oh my God, the back-to-back defending Stanley Cup champions. So in the next episode, we'll take a look at their lines, see what we're going up against. I'm going to assume Matthews, Marner, Nylander are going to be on there, going to be studs. They're going to be a problem in this series, but I think we have the talent on this roster to shut them down. But that is going to be the end of this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one. Like I said in the beginning, appreciate all the support so far on the channel, on the series. And yeah, that's going to be this one. Peace!